Welcome to pattern making class. This is Annette Jolie, and today we are working on making a pocket for your side seam of your pant. Please go ahead and watch my video on how to make your pant draft first, and then we can do all the pant details together. So I have my pant draft, and what we're looking at right now is the top portion from the crotch up. So we see a side seam, we see a grain line between the side seams, two side seams, and we have the front and the back. So we're going to put a pocket right here. Let's go ahead and make a grain line on another piece of paper. And if you don't have pattern making paper, you can use any type of paper that you can find, even 8.5 by 11 Xerox paper. You can tape it together. Let's take that grain line. Let's go ahead and line that up right on that side seam, grain line. And now we're going to copy off the curve of our side seam. You can see it's right there. And copy. My tripod's getting in the way, so I'm trying to blend that a little bit. There we go. Okay, so there was the side seam. And now we're going to do our waist, which curves down. And then it curves back up again. There, it's curving back up. And then I'm going to mark my first start leg right there. And basically I have the side seam and the waist, and I can design my pocket now. That's really all I need. Let's go ahead and put the front of the pant aside. And here we have, this is our top, this is the waist, over here is our side seam, and basically our hand goes into our pocket and it sort of spreads in there, right? We want to make the entering of the pocket anywhere from 1 inch to 1.5 inches, 2 inches down from the waist. So I'm a petite person. I like it down about 1.5 inches. If you're taller, you might start it down further. I'm 5'3". So if you're shorter, you might start it more like 1 inch up. But I'm going to start it down 1 inch, okay? Then I need my hand opening. Well, how big is my hand? My hand's really not that large. You could put your hand on a ruler and see how that works for you too. If I need my hand to go in there, you know, a standard pocket opening is 6 inches, but honestly, I'm happy to have a 5 or 5.5 inch. So standard could be 6. I'm going to make mine more like 5.5. And there's my opening to my pocket. Get a notch there and a little U around it so we can see where the opening is. Right? Opening. I made mine 5.5. You can make it 6. 5. If you're a man, make that larger as well. Put your hand down on that ruler. In goes your hand. Goes down there and it comfortably spreads. And so the shape of your pocket pretty much looks like your hand. You can make the pockets really deep. You can make them shallow. That's up to you. Give your hand a nice spread. Draw a curve around it. And then this ends up being somewhat of a straight area. You can always cut it back as well. So let's go ahead and true that up so we can see what it looks like. Because in pencil, it's sort of faint. Now also too, the pocket bag where you connect it back here, Some people like to have a pocket bag that connects all the way to the side seam. I like to cut this up a little bit. Again, you can maybe do this an inch, inch and a half, however far down. You can even start this as a half an inch. This is your choice, how much you want that sewn in there. Right? You can curve this up and go just to having a little half inch. But then the pocket flops around a little bit, so I like it a little bit more like there. I'm going to try up there. Let's go ahead and firm that up. So if that's my side seam, I'm going to go in straight for a little bit, and then I'm going to start making that curve so it's easier to sew. Once you have the shape that you like, go ahead and put this into ink. Make sure it's nice and round. When you open up your hand, your fingers, you make a nice round shape. Notice I have to flip my curve ruler back and forth several times to achieve the shape I'm looking for. Then right here, we can make a straight line. But we can see where the notch is, so for the waist dart, I am definitely going to bring my pocket away from that waist dart, right? There's one option for the whole pocket bag. Let's put a grain line in the middle. And this is our side seam pocket bag. And this can be a cut for, this can be self fabric if it's nice and lightweight. But this also could be cut for lining. Depends on what you're making. We would of course add our seam allowance everywhere. And it is 1/2 inch all the way around the whole pocket bag. And remember, I've angled mine in to get away from that dart. You can angle it in even more if you would like to. So we're adding our 1/2 inch seam allowance all the way around the bottom of the pocket bag, the edge of it, the waist, and of course the side seam has a 1/2 inch as well. After you finish this, go ahead and take your curve ruler and blend everything. Here we want a little bit of a straight line, and we're back to our side seam. You can come and blend things. Pop that curve ruler on there and blend your lines. Blending. And we are pretty much done with our side seam pocket bag. This is a cut for, and you could also put a facing on the edge too if you ever felt like it. Like if you're doing a lining, you could trace off and make a facing piece that's your self fabric, 1.5 inches wide. There, over, could be a piece that you topically place on top of it so that we don't see the lining, just in case you use lining. Then you would sew that on there first before you attach the pocket. That's an option for a facing. There's your side seam pocket bag cut for. This is Annette Jouy. Look forward to seeing you in the next video. Au revoir.